says somebody's outside. He wants to go out because he just saw somebody walk by. You have to wait, okay? Yes, you have to wait. Alright. Anyhow, today's video is potty training for the user of Compost toilets. This is A to Z. I'm going to share about my toilet. I'm going to share the design. I will discuss number 1 and number 2. And I will discuss compost solutions, and I'll call it the alternating squeeze. It's also known as a Kegel exercise to train your body just like a child. Train your body for composting. This is really good for women. So here we go. Hello friends. So this is my composting toilet. My friend Dave in Phoenix originally designed this. He did a really good job of designing it, but there were a few issues for a woman. On the bottom, it had a drawer which would pull out to hold the compost. He had the little latch on the bottom to keep the drawer from sliding out when I traveled. But the drawer was about 4 inches tall. And really what it did is it made the toilet too tall to sit on comfortably. My feet would not touch the ground. He put a handle on there so I could pull it around easily, slide back and forth where if I needed it. He put a window in there so you can see how full your liquid bottle is. He did a really good job of the design. But it didn't work for me. I could not put my feet on the ground. So later, I took the compost bin off of the bottom of the toilet, and I revamped it to fit on the side of the toilet, actually would be when you're sitting on it, the right side. So with the lid, and a scoop, so I can get it out easily to go into the toilet. I redid the top cover to make the hole in the seat bigger to open up more of the back bucket, and put an oval seat on there a little bit longer. The urine diverter is like a plastic funnel with a tube funnel tip going down. I had to position it under the lid so that it would still have enough room to get into the urine bottle. The seat lid has to be high enough to where when you put the urine diverter in, it'll clear the bottle, and it also will hook into the curved cutout on the bucket. We use a cheap 1-gallon container, plastic container, food grade actually, from the dollar store. You can use a laundry detergent bottle, heavy duty. That'll work really good. This bottle has held up for going on 3 years, I guess, is how long it's had this composting toilet. And all you have to do is, when you empty it, run a little water and vinegar in, take a toilet brush and scrub it out, because it does get little calcium deposit in there. But it cleans up and smells good. I usually put a drop of dish soap and a little bit of vinegar in the bottle and a little bit of water before I start using it again. I didn't give it dimensions for this project. Dimensions are different for every situation. So as you can see, I have a little curtain over my toilet area with snaps. This come off easily Actually, I could show you, demonstrate the snaps. It just snaps it on. So if I need to remove it, I can do that pretty easily. So what I do is take this curtain and just fold it up out of the way. Then I pull out my toilet. So, you've seen this toilet before. Let me back it up a little bit. I'll show you a little bit more. So that's the toilet. I have a elongated oval seat. When I revamped this toilet, I had to cut that hole a little bigger because there was not very much room for the back bucket. I could have gone back further, but I had to leave room on the back for the hinge plate. So, as you can see, I have a bucket with a plastic bag inside there. I'm trying to turn that camera. And I have a urine diverter right there. And inside, I have a plastic bottle, I have a toilet brush, and I have a scoop. A cat poop scoop. So that's pretty much it. Okay. So let's see this here. I want to demonstrate a little something. All the details. Like I said, it's potty training 101. I'm shifting the camera a little bit. So when I have to use the bathroom, I just have to lift the lid. And when I get my pants down, I'm not going to do that on camera, but I sit on the toilet. Usually I have to pee first, so I sit as far forward as I possibly can. If you sit back too far, you might slip and have it go back in the bucket. And my urine diverter, it has to be cut off right at the bucket level, so I don't want to go back very far. Anyhow, sit back as far as you can when you have to do number 2. So number 2 and number 1, let's talk about facts. I'm not going to stay sitting on the toilet, but I will talk to you a little bit more about this. So forward for number 1 and backwards for number 2, and then we're going to discuss what you have to do if you have to do both. So if I have to do both, here's the next question. How do you keep from having the urine go into the compost number 2 bin? What a subject. Why do all nomads and RVers and vanlifers talk about pooping and peeing? Number 1 and number 2. Why? Because it's a fact of life. Everybody has to go. Everybody has to go. So in compost toilet, you do not want to mix number 1 with number 2. Your number 2 bin will start to stink, even with very good compost. So I can't say, I mean, if you slip, it's not that big of a deal. It'll stir up and clean up, but if you do it all the time, it's going to be ugly. So once in a while is a mistake, but all the time is not a good thing. So you need to train your body to be able to handle separation. So you usually know when you have to go number 1, or you usually know if you have to go number 2. But sometimes they both want to happen at the same time. So, I recommend the alternating squeeze method. Okay, But you have to train your body to be able to do that. So the alternating squeeze is basically a Kegel exercise. A lot of women know about the Kegel exercise when they need to tighten up their female system after having a baby. Because sometimes they get a little loose. Anyhow, also as you get older, you'll notice you have to go number one more often. So you have to work at those muscles to keep it from happening all the time. And you have to be able to control that. So number one, if you have to do number one, you need to learn how to tighten up, squeeze and tighten, so it stops the flow. Yes, it takes exercise. You need to do that periodically throughout the day, whether you're having to go or not. It's training your muscles, and you'll learn. I call it the alternating squeeze because you can learn to do the same thing for the number two. Okay, if you have to do both, you may have to shuffle back and forth. Squeeze number one, squeeze number two, depending on which product you want to have come out. If you can learn to squeeze those two areas separately, you won't have a problem going both at the same time. It does take training. Just like anything else, you have to train your body to do this. So you want to know how to clean a composting toilet, I can recommend going to Johnny's Journey, JONNIE''S Journey on YouTube. She did a great video of how she cleans her composting toilet, and it will make you laugh on her channel this week. So make sure to go over and check that out. I'm not going to go into details about how to clean a composting toilet because somebody's already done this probably too. But anyhow, okay. So what I use for compost is coconut coir. I buy coconut coir in bricks. I usually get a 6 to 12 pack. I can get them on Amazon. Sometimes you can find them in a feed store or a gardening section of your local department store or Walmart or things like that. Like I said, it comes in bricks. There's people who use a lot of different stuff, peat moss, cat litter, what have you. I have found personally for me, I've been using this for almost 3 years. This is really the best stuff you can get. It's not any more expensive than anything else. It takes a little space once it breaks down, but coconut coir, you buy it a block, you put it in a pan, cover it with water, let it soak until it's softened up. Then you can break it apart so easily. Just pull it apart, and it'll be a kind of a very kind of looks like yard fertilizer, but it's just coconut coir. And so once it's all expanded and broken up, you want to keep a bag or a bin, like I use a little 2-gallon bucket, put it in my garage after I get it all broke down. So once you get that done, you have to let it dry out. So let it dry for 24 to 48 hours. Put it out in the sun for a while. Let it dry out once it's all broken up. Then you can take that and put it into your composting section of your toilet, or put it in storage till you need it again. So compost, coconut coir is really good. I have never had odors in my truck from that. I've never had a complaint or anybody and I do ask if anybody ever smells any odors in here. But I do use candles in here and try to keep it not smelling too bad. I do smoke, and I do smoke in my home. Anyhow, so coconut core for me, and I don't get anything to tell anybody but to use coconut core, but for me, that is the best product I've used, and I've used several. Potty training. Now you know how you can train your body to keep your liquids and solids separate. You also know what kind of compost I use and how to use it, how to get it ready for use. And you have seen my video about how I put together my toilet, and I didn't give details of dimensions on it because everybody's situation is different. I'll give you some basics. I used 3/4 inch plywood. So, okay. So I put the compost bin on the side. I created a new one, and that worked out really well. I put an elongated seat and opened the hole a little bit larger so that the back area was a little larger. But there's so many designs out there for composting toilets. I couldn't give you real dimensions because like I said, everybody's is different, depending on how much space you have for your toilet. I have quite a bit of room under my bed for mine to slide in and out. A lot of small spaces don't have that much room, so you have to design it for you if you decide you want to do your own DIY composting toilet. People ask me where I got my urine diverter. I bought that on Craigslist a very long time ago, and you probably can still get it there. Amazon never had anything on that, so that's what I did. Maybe eBay, I don't know. You just have to do the research to find the urine diverter. 5-gallon buckets are a dime a dozen. You can find them for the 1-gallon urine bottle. I just used one from the dollar store with a lid and a big wide mouth lid. So a lot of people use those big heavy duty laundry detergent bottles when they're empty. Okay, so that's my potty training 101 for number 1, number 2. Using an alternating squeeze to train your body, using compost that works, and also changing it out. Really, only thing I use for cleaners is vinegar water. Once in a while, a little cleanser if I get a lot of heavy scuff marks on the bottom of my box. But for the most part, I don't. I use a toilet bowl brush and a little cat litter scoop if I need to scoop something out and get rid of it. When I do dispose of the compost number 2 bucket, I tie that bag off. I double tie it. I put another bag around it and tied it up, and it just go in the trash can just like a diaper. If you throw diapers away, those are disposable diapers. We throw food before it's composted, which gets pretty ugly, in trash cans. So you can put that in the trash can. There's nothing wrong with that, and it doesn't stink if it has good compost, even if it were to escape the bag. So I usually use a double bag in my bin, so if say the bag would tear, I have a second bag. I would catch anything that came through. So you hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if I get long-winded, but I just thought it was funny because we were talking about this on Van Life Voyages last night, talking about Johnny's video, and then I mentioned the alternating squeeze, and everybody got a kick out of it. And I said, man, that could be my viral video. I think I better get cracking and get that video out. Okay, so here you are. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and if you think this is going to help somebody else that wants to do this kind of lifestyle or van life, or needs to know something about composting toilets, go ahead and share it out on your social media or your community tab. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day. Make sure you tell somebody that you love them today. And do it sincerely. Mean it. Thanks. Bye-bye. You want to make sure you get to my live stream on Sunday, on August 22nd at 5 p.m. Pacific time for a big party and lots of prizes. Make sure you come. Every Sunday I have a live stream. I usually put out a video once a week. Make sure you have the bell hit on to all so you'll be notified when they come out.